Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Arsenal considering the sale of 23-year-old homegrown talent to raise funds. To improve their FFP situation, Arsenal have reportedly thought about selling Emile Smith Rowe in the summer, according to Football Insider. The 23-year-old homegrown talent will command a fair price in the market, which has made the Gunners think about a possible sale of the English midfielder. Aston Villa have shown interest in signing Smith Rowe, and now Arsenal could be persuaded to let him go. Arsenal's lack of presence during the January transfer window indicated that they were approaching the FFP limit. The Gunners concluded the winter window without making a signing, despite rumors that they were searching for players in various positions, most notably a striker. Mikel Arteta has a lot of work to do in the summer transfer window as the Gunners are looking to sign a striker, a midfielder, and a defender. Edin Ketia, Reece Nelson, and Smith Rowe are all homegrown talents that the Gunners might consider selling. West Ham and Aston Villa have previously shown interest in signing Smith Rowe. Arteta made the decision to hold on to Smith Rowe and will likely give the 23-year-old star another chance to prove himself. Over the past 2 years, he has battled with injuries, and if things don't improve, the Gunners could part company with him. The fact that Smith Rowe is a homegrown player is a major discussion point when Arsenal consider selling. They would profit greatly from any fee associated with his move. Therefore, in the event that they get a sizable offer in the summer, the Gunners are thinking about selling. Barcelona plot Arsenal rate for key star with 10 goal contributions this season. Spanish giants Barcelona are looking to improve their attacking options at the end of the season. A report from Mundo Deportivo claims that they have a number of players on their radar, and Arsenal star Gabriel Martinelli is also a target for them. The Brazilian forward has done quite well for Arsenal, and he could prove to be a quality long-term acquisition for the Spanish giants. The 22-year-old has a contract with Arsenal until the summer of 2027, and Barcelona might find it difficult to convince the Gunners to sell him. Martinelli has 7 goals and 3 assists to his name across all competitions. He is versatile enough to operate anywhere across the front three, although he is naturally suited to the left wing role. Barcelona are in need of a quality wide forward, and there is no doubt that the South American would be a solid long-term addition for them. He is an excellent dribbler who will add creativity, goals, and unpredictability to the side. However, the 22-year-old is unlikely to be available for a reasonable price. He is a key player for Arsenal, and they will not want to weaken in their attack. Given their financial situation right now, Barcelona might not be able to pay a premium for the Arsenal attacker, and therefore a move this summer seems highly unlikely. Arsenal are looking to put together a formidable squad capable of winning major trophies, and they will not want to sell an important starter. Mikel Arteta has a dressing room approval to complete signing of world-class midfielder. Real Sociedad player Martin Zubimendi is already regarded highly by Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta, but Kieran Tierney's remarks may cause Arteta to take notice. The Scotland star Tierney is still under contract with Arsenal, although he is presently playing on loan at Real Sociedad of La Liga. The former Celtic player is hoping some time in San Sebastian can jumpstart his career after spending a large portion of his time at the Emirates sidelined by fitness concerns. The Gunners have Zinchenko in his position and signed Jurriën Timber in the summer to add depth. Tierney left because of more playing time, something that he lacked at Arsenal. Tierney has had the opportunity to get a close-up look at Zubimendi, a player who has been heavily linked to Arsenal over the previous 2 transfer windows during this time at Sociedad. The 25-year-old Spanish international's technical skill has drawn Arteta's attention. In a recent interview with The Guardian, Tierney praised Zubimendi, which would have delighted Arteta. The Scotsman said, "You have world-class players like Martin Zubimendi, Mikel Merino, Bryce Mendes. It's not that people don't think they are good, it's just that if you are only watching the Premier League every week, it's hard to know they are world-class." Even though Arteta spent £105 million on Declan Rice as a new midfield player in the summer, it appears that his midfield makeover is still ongoing. Thomas Partey is likely to leave the club in the summer, and the Gunners are eyeing Zubimendi as his replacement. Arsenal keen on signing La Liga attacker with 15 goal contributions this season. Arsenal are reportedly keen on signing the Athletic Club Bilbao attacker Nico Williams. According to journalist Pepe Estrada, the Gunners are keen on signing the 21-year-old La Liga attacker and they are pushing to secure his services. Williams has been in impressive form for the Spanish club, scoring 5 goals and picking up 10 assists across all competitions. He could prove to be a quality acquisition for the Gunners if they can get the deal done. Arsenal have two quality wingers in Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka. However, Mikel Arteta has not been able to rotate his side because of the lack of quality options. The arrival of Williams will allow Arsenal to rotate their key players more often. Williams is versatile enough to operate anywhere across the front three, and he could lead the line for Arsenal alongside Saka and Martinelli as well. Williams will add pace and flair to the Arsenal attack, along with his ability to score goals. Arsenal need more quality in the final third if they want to win major trophies. Williams would be a solid long-term investment for them. The Spanish attacker is only 21 and he will get better with coaching and experience. He could develop into a top-class performer in the Premier League. A move to England will be an exciting opportunity for Williams, and he will look to prove himself in English football. Fabrizio Romano thinks £43 million striker could leave after links with Arsenal. Whilst there are some question marks over his readiness, Arsenal have been linked with RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko. The 20-year-old still often looks raw in his performances, perhaps showing similarities to Rasmus Højlund, but there is clearly potential there. And when speaking on the Here We Go podcast, Romano thought there could be a ton of interest in the Arsenal-linked striker this summer. Speaking on the podcast, Romano said, "I think so. I think he is going to be an interesting name for the summer. We'll see what Leipzig decides to do, but I think he is going to be an interesting name because of all of the movement for a striker again next summer." And with Benjamin Sesko, it's also important to say that the interest is from different countries. For example, there are clubs in England tracking Sesko for time. There are clubs in Italy that also want Sesko, so I think there could be interesting movement for this player. Let's see how the second half of the season is going to be for him. Of course, Sesko could be a very interesting option to dovetail with Jesus, given the different qualities they possess. Perhaps Arsenal fans would prefer to see a more accomplished name arrive rather than a project player, but they will trust Arteta to get it right. So whilst Romano talks of interest from England for the £43 million striker, it may not be coming from Arsenal's way in the summer. Club set asking price for a special 23-year-old Arsenal want. Arsenal may have to be prepared to make Pedro Neto their second most expensive signing ever behind Declan Rice if they hope to sign the Wolves star this summer. Perhaps unsurprisingly, Wolves are preparing for Pedro Neto to potentially leave the club at the end of the season. He has been outstanding in the Premier League this term. Only Kieran Trippier and Ollie Watkins have provided more assists than the 23-year-old. Arsenal are long-term admirers of Neto, but they are not the only side interested in signing the winger ahead of the summer. Manchester City want Neto, as do Tottenham. In fact, according to Football Transfers, Manchester City see Neto as a potential replacement for Bernardo Silva, with Phil Foden potentially dropping into a deeper role than where he has largely played this term. But Football Transfers report that Wolves are planning to ask for around £80 million for Neto in the summer. They are hoping to spark a bidding war amongst his various admirers. Of course, that sort of price would make Neto Arsenal's second most expensive signing. He would bump Nicolas Pepe into third place, which you would imagine is something that the Gunners' hierarchy really would not mind doing. Much may depend on how much Arsenal have to spend in the summer. It's becoming increasingly clear that Mikel Arteta is building such a well-rounded squad, and thus it's hard to see which areas still require improvement. A new striker is the obvious addition, but someone who can really provide further competition for Bukayo Saka should also be on the shopping list. Saka has played a tremendous amount of games over the last few years. Neto has been labeled a special talent by David Seaman recently, and you would imagine that Arteta would agree, but clearly Arsenal have got all kinds of challenges ahead before they welcome Neto to the Emirates. Perfect £69 million striker linked with Arsenal wants Premier League move. Arsenal have been heavily linked with a number of centre forwards in recent months, and speculation is likely to intensify ahead of the summer transfer window. While links between Ivan Toney and the Gunners have been particularly strong, other names such as Victor Osimhen have been doing the rounds. For instance, the Mirror recently reported Arsenal are keen on bringing the Napoli star to the Premier League and have been on his trail for quite some time. They claim that the Gunners have already met with Osimhen's representatives as far back as 2022, and that interest and contact has remained in place. Now, Bernard Jacobs has provided an update about the Nigeria international on Give Me Sport that he deemed potentially good news for Arsenal, but also for Chelsea. Namely, that fellow suitors Paris Saint-Germain feel that Osimhen wants to move to the Premier League, according to the CBS journalist. He said, PSG's budget for the forthcoming season allows them to move freely in the market without feeling like they have taken a financial hit by Kylian Mbappe's prospective departure. Therefore, they can start looking in the summer for potential replacement should the need arise. One of those names is Victor Osimhen, but there is a lower confidence about that being possible because the feeling within PSG is that he wants to move to the Premier League, which is potentially good news for Arsenal or Chelsea. Osimhen has been a sensation for Napoli since joining for a reported £69 million back in 2020. Last season, he helped the southern Italian side win their first Scudetto since 1990, and his overall tally at the club reads 119 games, 69 goals, and 17 assists. The 25-year-old recently penned a new contract until 2026, with a release clause reportedly worth up to €130 million. With that in mind, Arsenal or any other suitors won't be getting Osimhen for cheap, but he certainly seems worth the outlay. No truth to rumors that Mbappe was offered to Arsenal and Liverpool, says Romano. Kylian Mbappe was on the score sheet yet again on Wednesday night, bagging his 44th Champions League goal against Real Sociedad. He continues to set the standard in the competition, and it's no wonder that he has long been coveted by Real Madrid. The 25-year-old has once again reached a career crossroads, and he has arguably the biggest decision of his career to make now. The next contract he signs is likely to see him through his peak years as a footballer, and to that end, everything needs to be right and feel right. Of course, he will demand a certain amount of remuneration, but he has to feel wanted. So far, Los Blancos have offered him less than they have previously, and that's believed to have not been well received by Mbappe's camp. In any event, There were rumors circulating in The Independent which linked both Arsenal and Liverpool with the player. On those rumors, Romano said, I have to say, guys, that I haven't heard this honestly. There is no update on Mbappe so far. I have really nothing new to share. As I always say, the Mbappe story will only be clear when he decides, and he will firstly inform PSG and their president Al Khalifi. At that point, we will be able to understand what's next for Kylian. Sources are denying all other stories. As we wrap up today's Arsenal news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.